Hi, this is Chad, VP of Products at Slate Digital, and in this video we're going to take a look at Stellar Echo SD-201, which is the newest plugin to be added to the All Access Pass and Complete Access Bundle subscriptions. Now this actually happens to be the very first delay plugin ever created by Slate Digital, and it's modeled after a classic tape delay from the 70s. This sort of tape delay is known for its color, texture, and imprecisions and playability, which makes it a lot of fun. So I'm going to break down how a tape delay works, and then we're going to take a look at all the features and controls of Stellar Echo. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is Stellar Echo right here, and it's really big, but that's because I drug it to a large size. This is a fully scalable UI, so you can choose whatever size you like. I'm going to keep it big here so it's easy to see on the video. And yeah, this model's an old tape delay that came out in the 70s. In fact, if you click this little button here on the top, you open up the lid and you can see the tape moving around as it goes over the record and playback heads here on the right. Now you change the tempo, the speed of the delays by changing the tape speed on this unit. The heads are fixed in place, at least in this mode. So the repeat rate knob is what's used to change the speed of the tape. The faster the tape goes, the shorter the delay is. So this might seem a little backwards. Normally you would turn the delay knob up and the delay would become longer, but this goes the other way. So for example, I'm going to put my voice through this. Hello. Hello. Shorter delay. Shorter delay. Longer delay. Longer delay. Longer delay. Longer delay. Shorter delay. Right? So that's how that works. But you also notice that we've got a display here. Let me turn that off. We've got a display here that's showing you about what the delay time actually is at this current tape speed. So head 3 is the farthest one from the recording head, so it's got the longest delay time of the 3. In fact, if we look at them all, you can see these are the delay times. Head 1, when just running at normal 100% rate, is 100 milliseconds after the input. Head 2 is 200 milliseconds, and head 3 is 300 milliseconds. And when we change the repeat rate knob, we see all those numbers start changing to show us what the new delay time is. And as you turn this down, those numbers become bigger because the delay time is longer, right? But engineers back in the day, when they were using this original unit, they didn't have these displays on the unit. They just had to set this by ear. So if you want to go for that really kind of natural feel for this device, just go ahead and set the repeat rate freely by ear until you hear a rhythm that you like. You just think, yeah, that's the dotted eighth or the quarter note that I wanted, and just get it close. And that's part of the charm of this thing. It's not exactly on beat. The repeats will slowly fall out of sync the more feedback you have, or they might be a little bit ahead, or in some cases the engineer just put it wherever he wanted and created like a really cacophonous kind of delay sound. It's totally up to you. But since this is modern times, we do also now have a sync switch here, so you can sync this up to your project tempo. So when this is on, now this repeat rate becomes a multiplier of your project tempo, and these heads are just musical values. So we have a 16th note, 8th note, and dotted 8th, and you can start doing a multiplier, so twice as fast. So now it's just a dotted 16th or half speed, and now it's dotted quarter. Right? All these change in kind. So however you want to do it, either in sync or free, is totally up to you. But the cool thing is you can still do some free movement while in sync mode. So for example, right now, you hear that delay. I'm going to turn up the feedback. Just like that. Now if I hold shift, I can move this smoothly. And in fact, it will stay at its current setting. So I can move other things. Until I released shift, and then it goes back and syncs back up to the original tempo again. Another new thing is that this is in stereo. Right now we've been listening to everything in mono, like the original unit was. It was monaural, just one channel in, one channel out. But we can switch this to ping-pong. Aha! Now if you're listening in stereo with some headphones on, you can hear my voice bouncing back and forth between the left and right channels. And the third mode is swap. And what this does is it just flips left and right. Since my voice is coming in mono, it stays mono. But any stereo signal you flip in will have its image inverted with each repeat. If you want, you can also just take a mono sound and use the echo width to add a stereo effect to the delays. So it's not ping-ponging, but it's stereo. Definitely need to wear headphones to hear this. But that can be nice to keep the stereo spectrum, the stereo field from getting overloaded with too many things in mono, right? It'll push the delays out to the side, so you can have the voice, for example, in the middle and the delayed sound on the side. Very nice. All right. Now, the original unit also has a reverb in the corner, and it was actually just a spring reverb. So if I turn this on, we can hear what the spring reverb sounds like. Spring. It's a very dark sounding spring, but very classic. And you can use this in combination with the delays by choosing like one of these settings. Hello. So how about this? Okay, so what you're noticing maybe is that only my voice, my initial voice, is going through the reverb. The delay from the tape is not going through the reverb. That was how the original unit was configured. But we've provided the option to choose different sources for the reverb now. So if you choose echo, it will only take the output of the tape and put it through the reverb. So my initial voice will still be dry. It won't go through the reverb like this. Check. See, it's only the delay that gets the reverb. And if I were to switch this to both, as you might expect, both my initial voice and the delay sounds will go through the reverb. Check. Just like that. Now, the original unit, with its spring, it wasn't adjustable. All you could do was just turn the level up and down. But here, we've got a decay, so you can actually have a longer spring, or shorten it, short spring. So you have more flexibility there. And there's also different reverb types. So if you're not into that vintage spring sound, you can go for more modern sounds like a plate. Check. Or a chamber. It's very tight. It can be kind of cool to use on drums. Or a hall. This one gets really psychedelic. Oh yeah, super spacey. And if you'll notice, this knob here becomes a wet dry when it's on both or echo input. So you can choose if you want to hear any of the dry echo at all, or if it should just be completely washed in reverb. It's up to you. All right, so that's most of the controls here. There's also a noise input that will model the original noise. If you use this, like if you don't say anything, you can actually get this thing to just self-feedback on its own noise. Careful of that. The feedback can get pretty crazy, pretty fast. And you also have a wow and flutter control, so you can change how much pitch deviation and speed deviation there is in the tape. Right now at 50%, this is about normal, for at least for the unit that we measured in our labs. But you can increase this to make it really sound broken, like there's a bunch of junk built up on the inside, or you can turn it all the way down, even down to 0, which would be technically impossible for a real electromechanical device to do. But this just removes all of the pitch variations, so the delays are always consistent and always of the same pitch if you want that. The last thing to introduce you to here is the custom mode. Now, when you flip this switch, now you get to look at the insides of this unit where everything becomes fully customizable. Now, when it was in original mode, you had 3 heads, but in custom mode, you have 4 heads. That's what these 4 rows are for. And the 3 heads had preset times that were only adjustable by the repeat rate, right? So they always maintain the same ratio to one another. But in custom mode, you can actually move their positions. So you can come up with completely different timings for the heads, however you want. It's totally up to you. And you can pan them in different directions, for example, like this. And you can change their individual volumes as well. So this is a completely customizable 4-tap delay. Tap. Tap. Yep. So it's totally up to you how you want to do this. And you'll notice you can change the position. And the timing is showing you what the position times repeat rate equates to. So at a 1 times multiplier, a 16th note triplet is still a 16th note triplet in time. But if we were to, for example, double this, it cuts it in half to a 30-second triplet. So this is the actual delay that you're hearing in combination with the position and speed, because now you're changing both of the parameters, the head position and the tape speed, to which both affect the delay time. So there you go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing in some music here. Just hearing my voice go through it might help explain how it works. But to really get a vibe, we should check out some sound. So here is an instance of this on a synth track. So let's just hear how the synth sounds by itself. Boring. Just a little chord coming off a Juno 106. But when we turn this on with some delay and some reverb, we get something really nice. Now we have some nice dub chords to go with our track. In fact, let's drop everything else in. So I've got a delay sitting here on this send, and right now its input is muted, but I can turn it on to catch parts of the drums. As you can see, you can kind of play this in real time. It's a lot of fun. Hold Shift to just capture momentarily with the effect button. That way you don't have to double click to turn it on and off, just one click down and up is enough. Yeah, so that adds a lot of vibe to your tracks, and yeah, I encourage you to try this out for yourself. That's always the best way to learn. If you're already a subscriber, this is available today. Just go load up Slate Digital Connect and download Stellar Echo SD-201, and you'll be ready to start using it in your own music. But if you're not yet a subscriber, now's a great time to start. You can head over to slatedigital.com and sign up for one of the free trials, either for the All Access Pass or for the full Complete Access Bundle, which includes plugins not only from Slate Digital and the Slate Sounds and the Academy videos, but also includes plugins from our friends over at SSL, including their whole SSL Complete line of SSL and Harrison plugins. So you just get a lot of stuff all under one subscription. It's great. So that's it. I wish you a fun psychedelic time with Stellar Echo, and I'll see you in the next video.